it's so important to measure what's going on in the school, and it's also important to, and see, you guys are probably all past this, but most martial artists think, well, he didn't want to enroll because he wasn't going to be serious about this, or this person is going to come back and do it, at a certain point. Well, see, you've got to take 100% responsibility for everybody you come in contact with if you want them, and that's the important part. If you want them, taking 100% responsibility for closing them all, right? Now, you're never going to get 100%. But you're not going to get 100% because some of them come in and they're broke, and some of them come in and they're idiots and you don't want them, and some of them have some kind of a legitimate condition that you can't overcome. Keep in mind the difference between an objection and a condition, right? An objection is I just don't fully understand and you haven't persuaded me, and a condition is we're moving to Tucson next week, not going to be able to train. You're not going to overcome job transfer. So you've got to have a really strong sales process in place, and that means every step of the way. So, for instance, if we're running an ad in the newspaper or on TV, when the phone rings, it's important to know what's the script that we're using when the phone rings, and what are we trying to accomplish? What's their outcome, which is to make an appointment for which they're going to likely show up. And we need to have a tracking of that, but we also want to make sure everybody's trained on the script. I like to have a little recorder on the phone, and we play them back and we record them. Now you can do that web-based, right? So you're playing back and recording and listening to everybody's handling of the phone call, so you make sure that they're getting a high closing rate, right? And the purpose of the call is to build rapport, have them feel like they got their questions answered without really doing much of that, and schedule an appointment for which they're likely to show up. I mean, that's it. So what's the phone script? What's the script for calling to confirm that they're going to show up for the appointment you set? What's the script for greeting them, first 3 steps in the front door? What's the script for in the outline of the introductory classes going on? What's the script for rescheduling them for their next class so that they come back next time having decided to enroll and they bring their checkbook, right? What's the script for confirming the call? What's the script for greeting them and walking them in and prepping them and pre-framing them and pre-qualifying at the second intro? What's the outline for the second intro class? What's the script for pre-qualifying them before we go into an enrollment process? What's the script for doing an evaluation, a qualification, and a price presentation in the enrollment process? What's the script for prepping them for the next step, which is the upgrade? And if you don't do it then, by the way, it screws up the process. You've got to make sure that at the beginning they know there's the next thing, right? And that they're prepped for the next thing. What's the outline for how they get handled the first 8 to 10 classes to prep them for the upgrade? What's the outline for the progress evaluation and the preparation steps and the spotlighting of the student for the upgrade? What's the script for the pre-qualification for the upgrade? What's the script for the upgrade? Now, I gave you a bunch of stuff, but if you haven't thought about each of those pieces,